Harshini and I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Food Technology in SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore, and I'm handling the subject unit operation in food processing too. And today we will be seeing about crystallization and its process. So first of all, crystallization. So when you say a crystal, what will come into your mind? So for example, take a food, okay? So what food will come into your mind when you think of a crystal? For example, sugar. Okay, so first, the crystallization is defined as a solidification of liquid substance into a highly structured solid whose atoms or molecules are placed in a well-defined three-dimensional crystal lattice. So the smallest individual part of all crystal is called unit cell. The crystal is made up of millions of such unit cells, and it is a process in which solid particles are formed of a homogeneous phase. Okay, so what is the principle of crystallization? Let us see about it. Soluble components are removed from the solution by adjusting the condition so that the solution becomes supersaturated solution and excess solute crystallize out in a pure form. So this is a basic principle of crystallization, and this is generally accomplished by the concentration of the solution in each case of a supersaturated solution from which crystallization can be occurred. So where can this crystallization process can be applied? So let us see about it. First of all, we can say about the manufacturing of sucrose from sugarcane or sugar beet. And next is the manufacture of sugars or glucose, lactose, etc. Then manufacture of food additives, example salt. You clearly know that salt is a form of crystal, so they are using the crystallization process in that also. And processing of ice cream. Okay, so a regular example is salt and sugar. You can think of that when think of crystallization. And next, so have you studied or have you heard about anything when someone says, will you accept that honey will undergo crystallization? So think of it. Is it possible? So let us see the answer. Yes, correct. Honey undergoes crystallization process, and here is the reason. So honey is a supersaturated sugar solution mainly composed of two sugar factors, that is fructose and glucose. So the reason for crystallization is it has the fructose glucose ratio and the glucose water ratio. These two are the main reason for the crystallization of honey, and high fructose glucose concentration and low glucose water concentration generally have a slow crystallization process. Okay, so when the level of glucose increases, it becomes insoluble in the water and the crystallization will happen. And the second reason is that storage temperature, which is the honey should be stored below 4 degrees Celsius or should be greater than 25 degrees Celsius. So these two are the main factors for which the crystallization appears in honey. So let us think of an empathy of crystallization process. So during the crystallization process, there will be an uneven or no or low or large crystal growth. So these are the main factors or a main problem which will be faced in the crystallization unit. And see this, the picture in the left side is the uneven crystal growth and the larger crystal growth in the right side. So what will be the definite? So size and shape of the crystal. So factors affecting the size and shape of the crystal is that the amount of dissolved materials, that is evaporation, pressure and temperature, will also play an important role for factors affecting the size and shape of the crystal. And the higher amount of dissolved material in the water and the more pressure that is placed on the material, the bigger the crystal will grow. Okay, so what are the shapes or what are the types of crystals available? Not probably types, what are the shapes available? So we can categorize as cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, hexagonal, monoclinic, triclinic and trigonal. Okay, so what will be our ideate? So for first we should control the crystal growth. Okay, So how can you control the crystal growth? By selecting a high quality seed crystal, selecting the highest melting point crystalline form, using controlled precipitation technique rather than the high energy milling to reduce the particle size, avoiding the temperature extreme during the processing, and proper storage condition. Next, slowing the crystallization technique instead of using a shock cooling or flash evaporation. Okay, so what is that flash evaporation phenomena caused by sudden pressure drop sufficiently below the saturation temperature. Okay, and how can you design the prototype? The solution is concentrated and cooled until the solute concentration become greater than its solubility at the temperature. Next, at this point, the solute comes out of a solution forming a crystal of a pure solute with the help of crystal seeds. Okay, then the soluble components are removed from the solution by adjusting the conditions so that the solution becomes supersaturated and excess solid crystals out in the pure form. Okay, and how can we accomplish this? So can be accomplished by lowering the temperature and by the concentration of the solution to form a supersaturated solution from which the crystallization occurs. Okay, and the equilibrium is established between the crystal and the surrounding solution, that is the mother liquid. Okay, the mother liquid is nothing but the solution remaining after the component removed from its process. Okay, so that is called mother liquid. Okay.